So we're back. So I'm gonna try and do the second part of my workout because some kids were hogging the equipment, and yeah, I should have told them to do one, but I don't want to do that really. It just annoys me. But people in general kind of annoy me. I don't know. I just find, I don't know, just people in general, and even myself, I annoy myself, because oftentimes I do things that are annoying myself sometimes, and yeah, I don't know, society in general I just find quite annoying and just, I don't know, rude, just really bad-mannered, and just, it seems to have especially gotten bad recently. People used to be a lot more disciplined, I think, at one point. I think a lot of it has to do with upbringing and stuff, not learning manners and things like that, but, it's the way things are nowadays. People just aren't very responsible. Parents aren't really responsible now. They don't really bring their kids up very responsibly. Because if they did, then, they'd be taught to have manners, But it is what it is, It's like they could literally see I was trying to use the equipment, but they were just trying to hog it. They shouldn't have even really been using it, but maybe they didn't know any better. Hi Reluctant, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. So I'm not saying every single person annoys me. Some annoy me more than others, but like I said, I even annoy myself sometimes at how I am sometimes as well. So I'm not saying this to try and point my fingers at anybody in particular or anything like that. I'm just, I don't know, I'm kind of just disappointed in the way that people are now. And I'm in myself at times as well. Yeah, there's always that one person, Yeah, but hopefully you could find some motivation to get started, because you don't keep putting it off. Once you get into it and you do it for a few weeks, then you'll be glad, and you'll just kind of get into that routine, and you won't even be thinking about it. You just do it. It's just about, even if you just find some time to do a few circuit training exercises or whatever, because it might only take you about half an hour. You don't need to spend hours doing workouts. That's the kind of like a misconception of, like, people think you need to be spending hours in the gym every day. You don't. You can just do short workouts and still get a lot out of it. Yeah. So it's just, if people's excuses are, oh, I've not got time, then make time for it. And you can also, like I said, do a pretty good workout in a short amount of time. Focus on quality over quantity, making sure that if you really want to make it quick, make sure you're taking each set as close to failure as you can. And even doing things like drop sets, those can be good as well, or supersetting two different opposing exercises together. That way, whilst you're recovering from one, you can sort of work on another body part that's fresh. So it's like you're kind of switching back and forth. So you could do, say, push-ups, and then you could do some rows or something, for example, as a way to kind of mean that you can get through the workout faster. Oh, welcome back. Hope you're doing well. So yeah, I'm going to do part 2 of the workout, but we have to go down to the other one, I think. So I can't be asked, staying at that place with all those people there, Hopefully it's going to be quieter, this one, who knows. Just have to have a look and see, really, but if not, then I'll just have to leave it for now and do the rest of my workout later when it's quiet. Sometimes I like to do late night workouts where I'm just on my own and I can just focus on what I'm doing, I also like late night walks sometimes as well. Just find it peaceful. don't have all the crazy traffic and all the different things going on, people everywhere. There's something about, what's the word, serene, is that the word? About late night, I don't know, something, it's quite serene and quite peaceful, like Emily. There's people annoy me, it's just like I said, it's like, you know, like, people trying to use equipment when they're not supposed to be, and it's like, I don't know, maybe I could let them off with that, but they should know better. So I've seen the same people use the equipment before. What are they even doing on there? Why hasn't someone told them that they shouldn't even be using that equipment? It's not even, it says it's 14 plus on the equipment. And they shouldn't even just be hogging anyway. Well, they're literally just hogging the equipment. They could see I was trying to use it. I was just hogging the equipment, and it was really pissing me off. I wasn't going to say anything and tell them to fuck off or anything, but, you know, I was on the verge of it, and I kind of just left in a huff, you know, and then there was some other people there, and I don't know, I guess they were just kind of in their own world or something. You would have thought they would have saw that I was trying to use the equipment, but then they were like, they should have been like, you know, he's trying to use the equipment, maybe just kind of, I was hoping that they would have just gone, but they were hogging it. I don't know how long they were going to stay there, so I'm like, okay, I'm not going to wait around. And I mean, I suppose I could have used the sit-up machine, but still, I mean, you know, I wanted to use the bars and stuff, you know, I wanted to use the other stuff, but, you know, yeah, it's just not good, is it, really? But it is what it is. I got a bit of something done, though. I did do a few things. Someone was asking me for my YouTube channel. They were saying, oh, you're a YouTuber. So they must have saw I was like streaming. I don't know if the person said, it was some little kid or something, so I don't know, it's just whatever. You know, it's just, they were in the playground on opposite. And I'm like, they were like shouting over to me, and I was like, just kind of give them my YouTube handle or something. I mean, if they wanted to go and watch me or something, but hopefully they're not just going to be some trolls and shit, you know, because some of these kids can be trolls, so, but it is what it is, you know, just gotta deal with it, eh? You know, that's all you can do, really. We're going to go down the river for a bit and have a walk down there, and yeah, it's still a bit windy today. I don't think it's as bad as it was yesterday, though. It's still pretty windy. It's a bit more mild, so it doesn't feel as harsh. Yeah, it reminds me of that song. You had a bad day. Sing that song just to turn it around. Yeah, it sounds a bit, I don't know, it sounds a little bit whiny, doesn't it, that song? I don't know. I don't know, I hope you're all having a good day anyway. Share the live out if you can. Yeah. Can be a bit of a nightmare crossing over here sometimes. But yeah, you know, it's just like going back to the whole thing of like, you know, if people could just be honest, like, you know, it wouldn't be like overthinking all the time, you know, people wouldn't just be so devious and sneaky or whatever, you know. People could just like be honest. You know, how so, you know, people could just be straight up with you, you know, like, but it's like they can't do that because then it exposes them with what they're doing. They have to work in secret. They have some secret agenda, you know, some, what do you call it, ulterior motive, where they act like they're something, but then they're not, you know. But you need some help if that's what you are. If you're just a compulsive fucking liar, then you need some help with that, you know. Because that is not normal fucking behaviour. I know a lot of people lie these days, but if you're a fucking compulsive fucking liar, then you need your head testing or something, I don't know, because it's not right. You know, it's like they get into such a habit of lying. What is even truth anymore? Is there even a single word that they utter that's actually true. You know, that's how bad it gets with some people, where it's like they lie so much that they even start to believe in their own bullshit. That's what I was saying earlier about making sure you don't like start believing in your own fantasies, but it gets to a point of delusion and just yeah, I don't know. It's just because like it's convenient for people to lie about certain things, because you know it's like they don't want you to know the truth, because maybe it's ultimately it's always out of fear, but it's like all you're doing is you're just making things worse in the long run doing that. The more that you keep telling lies, then the more of a deeper of a hole that you're digging for yourself. That's what they don't understand, that you keep lying and lying, then the deeper of a hole you have to dig out of, the more you have to explain yourself, and it just gets ugly, you know? Yeah, it's stressful, so why even do it? Why keep lying? It's just gonna, you're affecting other people, but in the long run it's gonna hurt you too, because people eventually will see it, and you can end up burning bridges, you can end up destroying your life over it. If you have issues, you need to work through them instead of trying to use lies as a way to cover up things, to try and, you know, it's just not right, is it? Oh shit, I can't even walk down here. Look at this, guys. What the fuck? It's flooded, guys. Look at this. Look at this, guys. This is supposed to be a path here, right? So I won't even be able to walk down here. So I'll have to kind of like give that a miss, but look, you're supposed to be able to walk on these steps here. There's literally like, look at that. Yeah, look how high up it's come today. It's this is all supposed to be a pathway down here. Not sure how, it got really flooded the other day. It was really bad weather. It always floods when it gets really bad, because we have like rivers running through York. There's like two main rivers running through York, and it's just like it gets pretty bad. So I'm not going to be able to do the other workout around here, I don't think, because yeah, the park's all going to be flooded, I think. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it, you know? Yeah, it just gets like that down here. I'm not sure if it's going to be flooded down at the but I think it probably will be flooded down at the river. I'll have to have a look and see, but I'll just walk a bit further down and see what it looks like down at the main bit, because I don't think that I'm going to be able to do it. I just have to use the bars later when I get back. So, but it's just like I said, you know, there's this saying, isn't there? Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. You know, like if people could just be straight up and just be truthful, and then it's like, you know, you have nothing to hide then. You have nothing to worry, you have nothing to fear. Why would you want to live in fear and worry about things getting found out and stuff, you know? If you have issues with your relationship, you need to sort that out. You know, if you have to be doing things in secret, then that's a sign that your relationship is doomed, and you need to address that. And you need, so yeah, it's a lot easier just being honest, but people don't understand that, and they then get to a point in life where they realize, damn, if I'd have just been honest and none of this would have happened. They create all these unnecessary situations that they could have just avoided. But people get so much in their emotions and not in logical, rational thought, you know? Yeah. I mean, I don't know, it's just like, I've never actually spoke to you offline really that properly, I mean, but I don't know what your whole game is here though, because it's like, I don't know. It's just the way you talk to me, it's kind of like, I don't know. I don't know what your whole thing is. I'm just a bit cautious. But anyway, so we'll see what the river, I think it's going to be flooded. Well, it isn't flooded on the other side by the looks of it. So, but that bit was flooded. So, is it going to be flooded down here? Let's have a look. No, it's not flooded down there. Yeah, that's alright. Right, okay then. We might do the workout then. I'll have to get across somehow and yeah, let's I'll walk through the park actually. Yeah, let's walk through the park. Yeah, so it's not flooded down there, but because that path there, that in winter sometimes gets completely flooded. Yeah, where people are walking, yeah, you can see it there. That where people are walking, that can get flooded. And it completely just like goes right up there. That's how bad it gets sometimes. This isn't even that bad compared to how it can get. Look, that is, when it gets to like kind of December, January, February, it can be like really, really bad. It literally comes right up above that level. So you can see that's probably like, what, really like 2 meters. So it comes up another like 2-3 meters above where the level is right now. And that is already pretty high compared to what it should be, but that just kind of puts things into perspective. Hi Haley, I'm okay, thank you. Just, like I said, people are just annoying sometimes and just, I don't know, obnoxious is the right word I think, but just gotta deal with it. It's just somebody earlier just like at the park, just these kids just trying to like hog the equipment and without any regard that I'm trying to use the equipment, and they're just messing around on it, just dicking about on the equipment. They're not even supposed to be using that equipment, but I don't know, they just have no concept of like manners or anything. Just what are they even doing out there on that? They should be on the kiddie equipment, but you know. So I'm going to go down to the other equipment, going down to the other park to do it, see if it's quiet down there. Just going to go down the river. The river's come up pretty high today, so I was a bit worried that it wouldn't be able to get on it, but it's only down at the other river where it's really flooded. So it's actually flooded down at the other bit of it. So the river must have like come up like a couple of meters above normal level with all the rain that we've been getting. But it is what it is. It's not like come up to like kind of, yeah. You see there, it's pretty high, but I've seen it a lot higher than this though. Yeah, I've seen it probably like 2-3 meters higher than where it is now. But yeah, hope everyone's well today. Just gonna go walk through the park, I think. See, yeah. But this way there's, but like I said, the whole thing of, it's so much easier to be honest, but even if it's inconvenient in that moment, but telling lies won't be convenient for you. You know, you can only keep up a certain act for so long, and then the more lies you have to tell to try and keep it going, and then you end up having to explain more things away, and it just ends up, you know, ends up making things way more complicated and awkward. And if you keep lying, then someone might, not take to it too well, shall we say, to say the least. You have to be very careful what you're doing, So if you lie to the wrong person, then you don't know what they're capable of. You don't know what someone's capable of if you keep lying. I'm not saying that as a threat or anything, it's just, you don't know. You don't know like what someone's capable of doing. So just be honest. It's like it doesn't cost anything, does it? But lying can cost you everything. That's what you need to realise. But yeah, it never ends well. Like I said, stupid games win stupid prizes. I've got some canal boats here, canal barges, whatever you want to call them. Got the friggin' solar panels on there, look. Getting all modern with their tech, It's cool because it's like a way of getting some renewable energy, I suppose. But the only problem is that with like solar panels, they cost quite a bit to get started. And thinking about it, is it even worth it in the long run? I was just have a think about like, let's say, how much does it cost for like electricity a month? But it's like, how long does it take to pay off that? Let's say you put in the amount of money that you had to save up to get a solar panel into like a stock market or something like that, or some kind of account, and then you would then possibly actually be doing better than the person who bought the solar panels. Just as a thought, not saying exactly, but for some kinds it costs you a few thousand. It probably would have took you years to save that money up to buy the solar panels, if you get me, which could potentially have made you a lot more in the long run. So it's just like it's just a thought, like, is it worth it? I don't know. Depends on how much power you can get from them, I guess. But some people actually sell excess back into the grid. I've heard about that. I don't know. I've heard you can only do so much. But that could be an idea to, let's say if you had some kind of like, off-grid property, whatever, and you could possibly maybe do that as a way to offset some of the costs. So, like say if you could use that to like pay for your internet or something, I don't know. So it's just like an idea, I guess, but I don't know like how feasible it is, like how easy it is to then go and sell it on. Depends on how much you use it and how much fuel you could get from that, but some people would like sell it on for profit. But then how much do you actually get? Do you get a fair amount of money? Because I bet you they'll probably give you like 10% fucking profit or something, I don't know. Alright, see you later. So is that an idea for like people like would say solar panels to like sort of to sell it back into the grid or something, and as a way to sort of make a bit of money? I don't know. Even if it was say just like £100 a month, let's say, then that can pay for a few bills and things. So is anybody still there? Because there are ways to like make a bit of like passive income, but it's just about kind of thinking that, is it worth it? Is it worth all the setup, like the setup costs? Would it actually be worth it in the long run versus just, like I said, put in your money that you would have, let's say if you put in a certain amount into, let's say, some kind of high interest account or something, and you say it costs 5,000 to set up solar panels, or you have to, oh goodness, set up solar panels to, like, you know, I said everyone seems to be going now. So saying you set up, you know, £5,000, but then you could maybe have made like a few £100 in a year of, let's say, set, you know, like that money that you have saved. I don't know. It's just a thought, really, I guess, that that money you could have invested, but is that more than the money that you would have saved? I don't know. Because it's like, I've got this Jackery box, and that's like cost me nearly £1,000, like £800 odd it cost me in total, the generator and the solar panels. So I'm like, but if I was only using a certain amount of fuel each month, then it could potentially take decades, potentially even for it to even, like, have paid for itself, basically. I don't know. So if I'm only, say, using, let's say, you know, £10 a month or whatever, that's like 120 a year. To take a few years to actually pay it off. I don't know what you think of that. I mean, it's good to have, like, self-sufficient energy sources and stuff. But yeah, is everybody doing all right then? I don't know whether to just get off here or something like that. It's not bloody hard to hear anymore, so my shoelaces have just come undone. Oh god. Alright. Oh yeah, I remember when I was a kid I used to struggle to tie my shoelaces. It took me a long time to get the hang of it, really. But, you know, got there eventually. Some say that could be a symptom of autism or something, and, like, I don't know. Hi Brian, welcome back. I'm going to do like part 2 of the workout soon. I'm okay, thank you. I had to take all my mods away. So if you notice, yeah, I'm not giving any mods out right now because there's been some weird shit going on. So not saying it's anything to do with you, but I just had to take them all away just to make sure that no one's messing things up. So I just, yeah, it's a shame really, but I don't want to otherwise I would have to, like, give every single person that comes in here a moderator for their own protection. I just haven't really got time to do all that, really. But yeah, so yeah, this is just a park around there at the moment, so I start down at the river. But, yeah. I've got the handles that I'm going to use, do some face pulls on that and stuff, and some bicep curls. In fact, they're good for doing that because I get a bit more freedom of movement with it. It's not necessarily as good as having like rings or something like that, but you ever use rings? That's yeah, it's quite nice around here. It's yeah, rings or suspension straps are can be a good option for like doing like calisthenics, like exercises and stuff. So you get more freedom of movement. Whereas if you're using a bar, that can sort of be a bit limiting in a way because you're fixed in that position. Whereas, say if I'm doing like face pulls on the rings or something like that, I can like pull them apart and stuff. You're able to manipulate things more. You can sort of yeah. So it can be good for that, but yeah, having like say a fixed, like what you call it, like an anchor point. I mean, it can be good for certain things, but yeah. But having that freedom of movement can also be good. But yeah, when it comes to strength, what are your thoughts on, say, like starting off with machines and then switching over to free weight afterwards? Someone was saying that like some powerlifters they went from machines, they got used to using, and then once they got used to using the free weights, they blew everyone out of the water. And some argue that machines can be better for certain things like isolating the muscles rather than, because the whole thing with like free weights is that there's more stability involved, and arguably that can lead to more fatigue as well as just or to just less of the target muscle recruitment. So that can be a bit of a limitation, but free weights can be good for things for like improving stability and improving core activation and stuff like that, but I guess both can have their place. But yeah, if you do a lot of machines, then you're able to actually like recruit more of those muscles and at once potentially have better force production versus free weights. I don't know, what do you think of that, guys? Does that make sense? Because like it's more coordination and stuff like that with free weights, like with terms of like degrees of movement. That can also happen with things like rings as well. If you're doing ring push-ups, I don't even know if I could do them, to be honest, but they're a lot more challenging because of that instability. But ring push-ups could be like comparable to, say, like dumbbell flies or dumbbell press. It's like a more freedom of movement, but I'd find that dumbbells are more stable than rings. Rings are very unstable, so I'd actually say they're more challenging in that sense. Yeah, just, I don't know. There are different kinds of equipment has its place, I suppose. But depends on your goals, really. If you want to become like a gymnast, then you like want to do things on rings and get used to doing that sort of stuff. But if you want to go for like strength, then you know, like barbells and stuff like that, be good. So it's, you know, it's each to their own, isn't it, really? But yeah, so I don't know. It doesn't look like anyone's really coming. Or at least there's only Brian. I don't know if Brian might have gone by now or something, but yeah. Well, yeah, anyway, just let me know if you're still here. Just keep the chat flowing, everyone. everybody. Walk into the equipment now, but I don't know if anybody. I think there's people using it, so I guess I'll probably just head back home. Just gonna walk down the river, but I don't know if I should restart it. I think I've just been restarting it too many times, but yeah, let's just restart it.